So I'm going to say, welcome to the first lecture of the live streaming of the Path to AI QA Engineer. And we are going to talk about, so you might have seen me just making this action so far, but you're now hearing me. So let's talk about this. So Path to AI QA Engineering. So in order to get to this Path to AI QA Engineering, to me, for as a test engineer, I spent almost more than a couple of years to learn about all these AI related tools and techniques and what are the things which is happening across the industry right now. And it is not like very straightforward it's not very straightforward for me to get to this particular point where I'm going to talk about AI, because AI itself is not a very small thing, as you all know. It has to do with quite a lot of different learnings. For example, I went to a path where I was learning the algebra initially, and then also linear algebra, and then I started learning more about the neural networks, and then I went nowhere, and then I realized that this is not going to lead me to get to the point where the industry is going to go. Because if I'm going to go to that particular route to start learning, this is not going to be that particular path is not going to lead me to get to a point where I can at least compete with the market today. So in order to get to this path to AI QA engineering, there are many different paths that you can take. You can go and learn, like how I was talking about, like you can study the large language model designing, transform models, all those things from the complete ground up, or you can uh, or you can just learn the applications of the artificial intelligence or the large language models. And today we are going to talk about the second half, which is the applications of the large language model, but not how you can test a large language models in terms of how you build a large language model and then testing it. That's not the whole idea of this particular session. The idea of this particular session is to give you the direction of how you can now become in a way to get into this testing of an artificial intelligence applications and large language models. That is the whole idea of this particular session, and we are going to talk about all these nitty details of what this particular path are. But most importantly, uh, to talk about this particular details of becoming an AI QA engineer, as I told you, I was spending like 2 years to study all the different details. And in this video, I'm going to cover all these details as a crux, and we'll see how you can easily get to this particular point where I have spent 2 years, but now you can spend around 2 or 3 months to get to this, to become a better QA engineer. And you can tag it as AI QA engineer, doesn't matter really, but you can do that. Let me see if everybody is really happy over here so far. Oh yeah, perfect, awesome. So uh, we all know about the current QA engineer's role. So I'm not going to talk about the current QA engineer roles, because the current QA engineer roles has even become more burden, because right now you can see that the QA engineers not only need to do a manual testing, they also need to do automation testing. They need to learn various different programming languages based on the tool that they are using, and based on the company they go, they have to again use different tools and techniques to make that happen. We know about that. That's the current state of the QA engineer. So I'm not going to talk about it, but I'm going to talk about this role, the AI QA engineering role. So you see that this is kind of evolving right now, and I have seen many posts, like job posting, which is talking about the QA engineer roles with AI in their tag. So if you read through this a bit more clearly over here, it says that the AI QA solution development will have design, development, implementation of advanced AI powered QA automation solution for testing and AI based applications, models, and systems, and use innovative techniques to identify the performance bottleneck, inconsistencies, and model biases. So you can see that at the moment, what they're really talking about is quite uh, like they're wanting us to create an advanced AI powered QA automation solution. While these kind of job descriptions are going to come into market, I mean, this is one of the example, right? if you see these kind of uh, uh, job descriptions comes over here, they don't really give you a specific guidelines of how you're going to achieve this particular part, right? It just say that you need to implement an advanced AI powered QA automation solution. But how are we going to do these things? Because is there any already available patterns, or is there any approved tools available, like in Playwright or Selenium C Sharp, or maybe in Cypress? We know that there is an tool which also is a framework, and we can start doing things from there. But over here, this AI itself is completely a new field altogether, and now they're suddenly asking us to do these kind of operation. This is going to be really, really crazy. Like how an AI QA, how an QA engineer can suddenly do this while this field itself is quite new. And they also talk about the test automation and framework, build and maintain automated test framework for AI system using a wide variety of automation tools. I don't know if there is any such tools unless until you learn that. And similarly, AI model testing. So you need to perform functional and non-functional testing of an AI model to assess accuracy, biases, scalability, robustness, and all those things. And you also need to adapt AI innovations with the latest advancement and research, actively explore and adapt emerging AI techniques like GPT model, neural networks, reinforcement learning, to continuously improve the quality assurance process. Uh, I'm not going to going to talk about the entire job description, but you can see that there are so many things that the companies are starting to expect, and this is one such example that we are going to see more frequently and prevalently in upcoming days or maybe in months, and you will never regret that. If you don't do it today, you'll only regret that you have not really learned all these techniques probably a couple of years before. And this might have happened to you already, right? You might have been working into manual testing, and suddenly you saw all the posts in automation testing, and then everybody started jumping into Selenium, Cypress, Playwright, and you might have already upgraded into Playwright and Cypress. Now you're very comfortable. Suddenly this AI came in, and now we have to start learning this AI. And we have to be a master in this, while this technique, this whole idea of AI itself is quite new. Becoming a master, it's not very straightforward or easy thing. So how do we get to this particular point while the company is expecting so many things? Maybe this job description is not a 2025 job description. Probably this could be a 2027 job description, but you can see this is already happening. So how do we get to this particular path, and what an AI engineer, what an QA engineer right now should learn to become an AI QA engineer? So AI QA engineering role is exactly same as the QA engineer, but the work is more exciting. That's what I could see that. The way I can see it's more exciting is because we are gonna learn a lot of new things this time, and you don't necessarily have to do a lot of programming like Playwright or Selenium or things of that nature, because here the program is almost very straightforward, because you're going to be doing a lot of evaluation, and also you are going to be learning quite a lot of different details and techniques of how you can test a new system altogether, and then you will see how you can fuse all your learning to make this entire journey to be working in one single atomic unit. So while I say atomic unit, you're going to see all these operations that all this knowledge that you have put on the time that you have put to learn these AI stuff is going to be just so easy for you, like how you use a chat GPT for that matter. So I'm just telling you that in order to become an AI QA engineer to learn, you need to have a basic working knowledge of the generative AI tools and APIs. That's the first part. While I say basic working knowledge, I'd probably say that let's say ChatGPT for that matter. So that is one of the generative AI tool. We all know that. And the APIs, for instance, like the Gemini API, or you can also take the OpenAI's API or Claude API. So we can use these APIs to send some data into it, and then we can get the response from the model, and then we can see if the response we can format into JSON format, and then we get the response like how we are looking for. So again, the prompt engineering comes in picture over there, like how you send a request and then how you get a response back from the large language model, from the APIs, and also from the ChatGPT kind of tools. You know how things are working there. But now the next question naturally comes is like, how is the large language models doing all these things? While you just give an input, you're gonna ask like, just go and identify the elements in the page. You just give the source code of a HTML page and put it on the ChatGPT, and then ChatGPT is gonna go and parse the HTML file for you, and it gives you the response saying these are the different locators that you need to choose from this particular page. Then your question naturally comes is like, how is this really happening? How is the magic of the large language model is doing all these things while getting the ID and locators for me automatically? And that's when you are going to start learning about the next stage, which is the basics of the transformer models. So all these models that we are seeing today, like the GPT models or the Claude Sonnet 3.7 model or Gemini model, all these models are otherwise called as the transformer models, because these models there is a paper called as attention is all you need. So you can go and search in Google about attention is all you need. You will get to this, you will get to know about how this transformer model has shaped things. So if you just go and search for attention is all you need, look at that, that's a PDF file. And if you just go to this particular paper over here, you see that this is the paper. And if I go to the PDF file, this is one of the breakthrough happened in the large language models, probably in the history, which has made the large language model become more aware and become more attention to the details, and then it started to learn things from there on. So this, I mean, I'm just giving you in a very, very high level, but you have to go deep and to understand what this really does. So you can see like this is one of the breakthrough happened, and this is the place where the transformer model came into life. And all the models that you are seeing over here, like the model like GPT model, for example, they started becoming like a general purpose model only after having this innovation of the attention is all you need. Even before that, the large language models were there, but they were specific to certain operation. For example, grammar correction, and there were models which were doing just for the translation, and there were models just for doing specific operation like name identity recognition, or maybe sentiment analysis. Like they were all doing things, but they were all doing things in a more isolated fashions. Every models were doing things which were completely different, and every models were very specific for that particular operation. But after having this attention is all you need paper, and once the transformer model came in, all the operations were done by one single model itself. The model started to learn even more better. The way you train it and the way it started learning it, it becomes even more and more better. And that's when this paper comes in. Just if you have time, just go ahead and read this. This is quite amazing. So that's when the basic of transformer model comes in, and you need to learn about this transformer model. This is quite amazing journey for you, and it's going to take a long time, I'm sure, but it's worth understanding that. Finally, you also need to have a good understanding of the AI agents, as well as the craziness of AI agent really. And one of the examples is MCP server, which is currently making the internet more crazy, like the model context protocol of the Claude Anthropic. It's good because you are now giving a capability for the large language model to go and talk in the external world. I'll give you one example of this AI agent, which I wanted to really show you. So you see that this is the Ollama, Ollama, which I'm running to run a local large language model. And if I hit enter, this is the QN model which I'm currently running. And there we go. It has came over here. I'm probably going to ask one of the questions. And this question I always ask in my Udemy courses many times. And I'm going to ask the same question over here. Can you tell me who is the president of USA in 2025. So what do you expect this large language model to give you the answer right now? Do you think it's going to give me the answer as Donald Trump? Well, the answer is no. Now it will tell you that um, as of my last update, I don't have specific information about the US presidential election or leadership in 2025. The prediction future political figure is challenging and with my and not within my capabilities and things of that nature. That's what it's going to tell you, right? Because this is the cutoff of the large language model where it has the information. And this is the exact same thing happened while the chat GPT came in. You remember every time in 2021 while we tried to ask any question, it used to give you an answer saying that I am not trained with this information that you're asking because my cutoff knowledge is until 2014. No, not 2014. I think it was 2021 or something like that. So that's how it was. So yeah, that is the shortcoming of the large language model. So how does this large language model can now be more aware with the current trends and affairs? Well, now you need to train the model to give all this information like presidential election information, or maybe if there is any new technology or innovation happen in fusion technology, then you need to go and fuse that over here to large language model, which is going to be more cumbersome, right? You can't give all the world knowledge to the large language model all the time. That's when we have this AI agent comes in. So the AI agent will actually enables the large language model with the external world knowledge. So it is going to act like a bridge for the large language model, which can go and search online for the details and it's going to get you the response. Let me just open a simple example, probably. So if I just go and see the chat GPT, and I'm going to say, who is the president of USA in 2025? You see that now it is searching for the web there and it's giving you the answer saying the president of USA is Donald Trump. So this is happening because now it is searching the internet and then it's giving you the response back. So the LLM by itself doesn't have any knowledge, but it actually went and searched online and get you the response. That's when the AI agent comes in. So this is one of the application of the AI agent. And similarly, so this is something that you need to know about, like good understanding of the AI agent, how that works, and how you can actually make use of the AI agent and how the applications are built using AI agent, like large language model applications are built. And then you also need to have a good understanding of the concepts of the RAGs and chatbots, etc. So I'm going to talk about the RAGs and chatbots later. Just give me a second. But this is another way for you to give the knowledge for the AI large language model by giving some local data. For example, your company data or your company's details or documentations, you're going to be giving in or fusing in to the large language model using the RAG. And then chatbots is pretty much ChatGPT. We all know about that. So I'm just going to leave that as it is. So these are things that we need to know as well. And finally, after we learn all these concepts, we then need to learn about the tools, which is going to be helping us to evaluate an AI application. So that's when our QA engineers hats comes in, right? We are now going to learn about what are the different types of evaluations available and what are the different techniques available to evaluate a large language model. So this is the place, I mean, after you learn all these information, we are then going to focus on testing. So here the testing is not as straightforward as testing an application in user interface or APIs or mobile app, you need to learn these concepts first, and then you need to learn about the testing of the large language model. And again, testing is not like you're going to be selecting an element or doing things, or maybe you're going to be doing testing of a large language model, like just opening an application and testing it. That's not how the testing is going to look like over here. We always say evaluating here. So basically, when I say evaluating, we are going to actually do a lot of different matrices to ensure that the large language model application works as expected. That's the type of evaluation that we are going to be doing over here. Well, as that said, let's first talk about the evaluation of large language model. So we are going to talk about this a bit, and then we'll see a practical example, and then we'll be done for today. So again, why should we do the large language model evaluation? We already talked about that, at least in here. So evaluation of the large language model is mainly done to ensure that the LLM actually returns the answer that what we are looking for. That is when the evaluation of the large language model comes in. So and once again, the LLM evaluation is not as straightforward as testing any usual software. We have to do a lot of different there are a lot of different techniques that is involved in order to test the large language model. So some of them, for example, is in the evaluation of the large language model, we need to evaluate in terms of different set of matrices to build to test an application which is built with the LLM application, also built with the AI agent, and also fine-tuned with the large language model. So there is different ways that we can actually do the evaluation for applications of these categories. So there are different types of matrices available. One is the static evaluation metrics. Another one is the LLM metrics. So the static evaluation metrics are these. So you can see that we also call it as traditional metrics as well as the non-traditional metrics. So over here in the static evaluation metrics, which is the traditional metrics, we can see that we verify the large language model using exact match or blue score, blue or rogue or F1 score, something like that. And there is also called as the LLM metrics, which is the place where we're going to verify the large language model for its relevancy of the answer, prompt alignment, correctness, hallucinations, and then contextual relevancy. So these are the things that we actually do to verify a large language model. So just read through this before I drink a sip of water because I'm starting to get cough. Excuse me. So you can see that if we take the large language model over here for the answer relevancy, one of the example of the answer relevancy is, let's say you're going to ask a question to your large language model, or you're expecting an answer from a large language model, and it is relevant to what you are looking for, and that's when the answer relevancy comes in, right? You need to verify if the output of the LLM is actually in the manner that you're expecting. So that's when answer relevancy comes in. And similarly, hallucination, one of the good example of the large language model. You should always expect the LLM to give you the answer without hallucinating or imaginary answer that the LLM should give. It should be giving the answer that is what you're expecting, really. So it should not give you the fake answer for that matter. That is what is hallucination. And similarly, contextual relevance is another most important thing. And there are many different matrices available. Believe me, these are the different kinds of matrices we have, as you can see over here. So all these evaluation metrics, I mean, this is again some of the evaluation metrics that we have got on, but there are even more depending upon the tool that you use to do the evaluation. So we need to verify all these matrices to ensure that the LLM actually gives the response like how we are expecting. So in order to do all these evaluation, I know that if you're going to be doing it for the very first time, it's going to be a bit hard or tricky. But once you start learning about all these kinds of techniques and tools, which is available in the large language model space and the AI application space, these things are going to be more and more easier for you to start working with it. So uh, so as that said, with having all this knowledge over here, I know there are so many things that I have covered. Um, the one of the most important thing in order for us to do the evaluation for these things like answer relevancy, faithfulness, bias detection, if you do this manually, I'm telling you, it will be like taking you ages to complete. And that's why we have a concept called as a large language model as an agent, or a large language model as a judge, sorry. So what is this LLM as a judge really? So this is an evaluation methodology where a LLM is employed to assess the output of other LLM based application such as chatbot or AI agent or RAG system that you are building. So here you're not going to do a manual testing, but you are basically going to be doing an testing of your large language model application's output with a large language model itself. So let's say you have an application which is built using this model, the QN model, right? This is the least powerful model built by Alibaba. I mean, they are now very powerful, but let's assume this is the very least powerful AI model, right? And it has not been trained with some data which other models know. And now if you wanted to test an application which is built using this model, if you want to evaluate the output of this model's application, which is built on the top of it, then you can use another powerful model and then use that as a judge to see whether the answer is relevant to the question that you have given and whether they are producing the correct answer or not. So you can now use a large language model as a judge to perform this operation. So think about this. Now you are using an LLM's help to get all these matrices done over here, which is amazing, right? That's one of the way that you can actually do things even more better while you do the testing. So this approach over here will be very, very helpful, mainly to reduce the high cost associated with the human evaluation of the LLM and the LLM applications. So using this approach, we can do a rapid testing, of course, pretty much like the automation testing we do in classical, like current applications, right? I don't say classical yet because we're still not there. And similarly, the LLM's evaluation, like using a LLM as a judge, will also be more consistent, and it's also going to be more scalable assessment. This question always comes in all the time, right? Like LLM will give you answer every single time differently. So how do we know that the answer is always what we are looking for? So if you ask ChatGPT the question, maybe if I go back. See, I'm asking the same question one more time over here. And it's looking at different sources this time. And see, the answer is not pretty much exactly the same text over here. They both are entirely different, right? See? So every single time the large language model is not going to generate the same answer. But if you see, they are actually relevant answers, right? They are the relevancy of the answer is pretty much exactly the same. Even though they are different answers, I mean, even though the text is different, the relevancy is correct. Now the large language model can actually understand this relevancy while you try to give it. That's when the LLM as a judge comes into picture. Now LLM as a judge can actually do all these things for you. I mean, humans do like text to text comparison, or if not, they have to assess or understand how the answers are being created or generated. But instead, they can use this large language model as a judge to perform all these operations. And that's when this testing tool which I'm talking about comes into picture. For example, the Deep Evalve and Ragas. These tools uses the technique of LLM as a judge to perform all these operations for you. So now you don't necessarily have to worry about how you are going to do all these evaluation over here that you are seeing. You can use these tools like Deep Evalve, Ragas, or Eclipse, or also there is something called as Hugging Face Evaluate, or there are many different tools available. To be honest, like every single day, new tools are evolving. So you can use all these tools to make this happen, like LLM as a judge. To be honest, so if I go over here in the Deep Evalve, which is going to use the LLM as a judge technique, you can see that it uses there are many different matrices available in the Deep Eval. One of the matrices is the G-Eval. This G-Eval is actually from one of the papers which has been available, like the Attention is All You Need paper. So the Deep Eval employs the G-Eval to do that. And over here, you can actually verify all these matrices in even more better fashion, like the answer relevancy, faithfulness, or context relevance. Everything you can employ in G-Eval and make this happen. I know there are so many different theories that I'm keep on giving over here, like Deep Eval or Ragas, but I'm just going to stop right now because we're already running out of time. And I'm going to show you an example demonstration of how we can actually achieve all these operations. But I also told you that there is a surprise gift that I'm going to give you all before you started to leave. I see there are counts reducing. I'm actually going to give a coupon code. Just do it right away before you close the session right now. Use the coupon code free4. So just use the coupon code free_4. And then you should get the course which is available in Udemy for free. And I'll tell you which course is that. So if I go search for Udemy Karthik, and if I go to my course over here, which is the Test AI LLM application with the Deep Eval, Ragas, and more using Ollama. So if you are now available online, just go and enroll the course using the coupon code free4. So just go apply the coupon code free_4. This is the coupon code that you gotta use. Hit apply, you get 100% discount. This is only for you guys who have joined, so please go ahead and do that immediately. After the session, I'm going to disable that coupon really, so they won't be able to enroll it. So yeah, that's for you guys. Thank you so much for joining. And whatever that I'm talking about today in this particular session, it's all there over here. So you see that the Deep Eval is covered, which does all the evaluation, Ragas, which does all those evaluation over here. So every single thing that we are talking about, including Hugging Face Evaluate, is available in this course. So please go ahead and watch there. But if you wanted to really learn even more about the techniques of the other details like AI agents and applications like RAG or the chatbots, you can also learn this course, which is even more better for you to get a deep understanding of how you do it. There is also testing related stuffs in there as well in this course. And if you wanted to go even more crazy about learning the models and fine-tuning the models and also testing a fine-tuned model, then you can go with this course, Understanding, Test, and Fine-Tuning an AI Model with Hugging Face library. So this is an NLP library which has been used. NLP stands for Natural Language Processing, so you can use this course to learn it as well. And finally, this is a lightweight course, to be honest, the Gen AI in software automation testing. You can even learn from here quite a lot of different techniques, to be honest. So this course is where you talk about like how you run the large language model in local machine using Ollama, and how you do automated UI testing and manual testing, and how you can use the APIs of Gen AI and how you can use the APIs of GenAI to write an intelligent test automation code and visual comparison of the test automation code and things of that nature. So there are so many things available. I think that I have covered a lot more detail about MCP, especially the Model Context Protocol with Playwright and things. So you can watch these details from here in this course. All right, that's about my courses. And now you have a free coupon code. So please go ahead and enroll to start learning more details. It's going to be really, really helpful. Well, as I said, just on the glimpse of the course, we have seen all the different evaluations so far. And I'm going to quickly show you one of the evaluation using the tool Deep Eval over here. So you can see that in the Deep Eval over here, I'm just gonna, so all these details that you are seeing over here, like section 1 and section 2 until here, is all from the course that I just gave you for free. So it has got the details as you are seeing over here as well. So what we are trying to do this time, we're going to test it as we are going to be testing the answer relevancy. I think somebody is asking the coupon code. So let me go paste that. Free for is the coupon code. There we go. All right. Is it not working? Why is people saying that it's not working? It is working. We tried it. We just now tried it. It's all working fine. And let me just see. Why is it not working? Just for you. Over here. And apply coupon free for. Yeah, it's working. See that? It's 100%. It is working. All right. Sorry to interrupt or deviate. So as you can see over here in this code, we are using the Deep Eval library, and we are going to be using a class called as answer relevancy metric. So this is one of the metrics that we are going to be verifying. As I told you, if I just do control space, there are many different metrics available. Answer relevancy is one of them, but there is the base conversation metrics, and then there is this base metrics, and then there is this faithfulness metrics, hallucination metric, image helpfulness metrics, and you can just keep naming it. There are so many different metrics available. So we are using answer relevancy metrics over here. And in this code, what I'm doing is I'm creating an LLM test case. So this is inbuilt class in the Deep Eval, to be honest. And over here, I'm asking like, who is the current president of United States of America? That's my input I'm giving as a user. And the actual output, I'm expecting from a large language model is Joe Biden. So I have hard coded it right now. I mean, in this demonstration, I have just hard coded it. But in reality, this output is going to be coming from your large language model applications or chatbots or RAG systems or any other AI agent for that matter. Those things are going to be coming over here in the actual output. But I have hard coded it just for the simplicity purpose, because you see that this is an introduction section. And now I'm going to say in the retrieval context, I'm going to say that Joe Biden serves as the current president of America. So that is the retrieval context. So this is the context which is given to the large language model to go and do the matrices like validation metrics. So you see that these inputs are very important for the large language model as a judge to take the decision, because now, so you are giving an input and you have given the actual output, and in the retrieval context you are giving some details over here. So this retrieval context in reality will come from a RAG system like a vector database or any other vector data store, and the actual output is going to come from a large language model. The only thing that you give in reality is going to be this input, and now these are coming from the actual system's output. And now I'm going to use this test case. I'm going to run this on the evaluation data set. I'm going to pass this. So this can be any number of test cases. I'm just going to pass one test case. But if you have like hundreds of test cases, you can still pass that as well. And now let me just run this code over here. It just executes it. And there is a beauty of this particular test. Basically, this entire test is running for me with a local large language model as well, which is amazing. So this is running using my ollama. So I'm not using like a third party cloud provider of the large language model like OpenAI or Claude or Gemini. I'm actually using my local machine to do all these operations. So on this course that you have got, you will be learning everything from running everything from your local large language model instead of purchasing the API as an additional cost as well, which is amazing. So you will learn how powerful and potential your machine already has got with the local large language model. It is amazing. If you can able to run the DeepSeek model, I'm telling you, there is nothing like that. It is amazing. All right. So now I'm going to run, or I'm going to do an evaluation of this answer relevancy metric. So now I have created the test case. I've did the evaluation to create a data set. Now, because we have created the answer relevancy metrics, I'm going to execute this answer relevancy metrics this time. So if I just do an evaluate over here, look at that. It says that you are running a deep eval latest answer relevancy metrics using a QN 2.5 model. See, this is my local large language model that I just showed you over here, this one, this model. And it has executed the test for me. And look at that. It tells me that the answer relevancy score is 100%. So one is basically like 100%. And I have given a threshold of 0.5. So even if it is 0.5, I told that the answer is correct. But over here, it has achieved beyond that. Like it is giving like 1.0. So it's like 100% of the accuracy in the answer relevance. And we got the answer output coming over here. So the 100% is passing rate. So the test is already passing for us, guys. This is insane. And now if I go and click this link, I'm gonna go copy this link. Yeah, I'm gonna copy, and if I go to the Arc browser, which is this one, the Confident AI. Look at that. We're starting to get the responses over here. So this is the one that is just executed. So if I go to the test case over here, you see that it's 100% passing in the result. And if I go to the test case, you should see there is a test case over here. And it says that the input is who is the current president of United States of America. The actual output is Joe Biden. And the retrieval context that we have got is Joe Biden serves as the current president of USA. This is for a very, very super simple example that I'm showing. But in the course that you're going to be learning, these things are going to be even more crazy. I mean, we go even more crazy about it. We will be doing answer relevancy, faithfulness, contextual precision, and then contextual relevancy, and we'll do all sort of verifications. And if you see the test cases there, it'll be, I think it'll be more bigger than expected. Look at that. See how much is the actual output coming up, and what is the retrieval context. If you manual test engineer are gonna do these kind of testing, I'm telling you, it is not really possible for us to match every single thing, and we need to know about the context, understand the English text to see the relevancy and things. But over here, these things are going to be taken care for us by the large language model. Look at that, how many details have been generated from a large language model's output, and how the verdicts are coming up over here from the LLM as a judge. And finally, it is giving us the response. And you can also see there is a verbose details that is being shown over here. I know this is a lot of things that I have talked today about the way the large language model can be tested and things, but guess what? These are the things that you really require to understand while testing a large language model. So that's it, guys. I have spoken quite a lot today. Sorry about the glitch initially, but I'm telling you, it is really worth for you to learn all these concepts from the complete basic, because now still I'm telling you the AI is in its infancy. It is not in a artificial super intelligence yet. But while this AI is get into this artificial super intelligence or artificial general intelligence in another 5 to 6 years, maybe 10 years, that's what they claim, but they are already pretty close. But if the companies are going to achieve that level, we should probably have some the basics understanding of how this large language model works and how this behind the scene things works. So these knowledge will be helping us to do a better testing, at least better way to talk about the things that we are using every single day, even in our phones that we are doing that, right? So that's about the way that you can learn these techniques to become an AI QA engineer. Having this knowledge is going to be very, very useful while you put or apply an application for a job, especially for an AI QA engineer. And I'm sure this knowledge is going to be very, very helpful. Once again, thank you so much for joining today's session. I'm sure you guys might have liked all the discussion that we have did, but I will quickly see if there is any question that I have got. Or do you guys have any question? I can take a couple of questions right now before we wind up this session. Do you guys have any questions? I have not received any questions though. Sorry, guess what? I'm really having a hard time looking at my monitor. So any questions, guys, so far? I see MC. I don't know. MC, can you just send me an email at karthik@techgeek.co.in? I will send you the coupon code. Looks like you are the only person who couldn't able to somehow apply the coupon code. All right. Awesome. So looks like there is no questions, which makes me proud again, because I feel like I have covered things more clearly. But anyways, guess what? Thank you so much for joining this session, and thank you so much for your time, that too on Friday. And today is Friday already, and I have to go and sleep. But guess what? Thank you so much for joining once again. And I'm sure exciting things are going to come up pretty soon. And I'm very excited to share all these details in our upcoming YouTube live series. But thank you so much for making this today. I'll catch you in the next one. Until that, you guys have a great weekend. Thank you.